Good afternoon, parents and hockey fans and fans watching the live webcast on the ACHA YouTube network. Welcome to the Comerica Center in Frisco, Texas for the 2019 American Collegiate Hockey Association Women's Division I National Championship Tournament, hosted by the Frisco Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Dallas Stars, and the Children's Health Star Center Ice Rinks. This is ACHA Public Address Announcer Andy Storrs. Our third game today features on the visiting bench the number 7 seed, Mckendree University Bears. And on the home team bench, the number 2 seed, Adrian College Bulldogs. Let's meet the starting lineups for this afternoon's game. First, for the Mckendree Bears, in goal, a freshman from St. Louis, Missouri, number 27, Naomi List. On defense, a junior from Kirkwood, Missouri, number 5, Delaney Ivanowski. On defense, a junior from Wexford, Pennsylvania, number 53, Jana Garrow. At center, a sophomore from Covina, California, number 16, Paris Suzuki. On left wing, a freshman from Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, number 14, Brittany Cook. And at right wing, a sophomore from Battleford, Saskatchewan, number 20, Dakota Peterson. The head coach of the Bears is Derek Pilardi. His assistants are Nina Elia and Andrew Kantrovitz. The equipment manager is Alice Thomas. The athletic trainer is Josh Craig. And now let's meet the starting lineups for the home team bench. The Adrian Bulldogs. In goal, a junior from Elmira, Ontario, number 33, Dana Colombo. On defense, a sophomore from Bell River, Ontario, number 10, Tanya Candido. On defense, a freshman from Star City, Saskatchewan, number 17, Colby Donald. At center, a junior from Pepperell, Massachusetts, number 16, Britt Levasseur. At left wing, a junior from Omaha, Nebraska, number 19, Taylor Merced. And at right wing, a senior from Macomb, Michigan, number 39, Olivia Ziemba. The head coach of the Bulldogs is Brett Berger. His assistants are Sarah Shurab and Hannah Griffin. The trainer is Tegan Showman. Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise and kindly remove all caps. And join me, soloist Andy Storrs and organist Harry Lichthart, in the singing and playing of the Star Spangled Banner. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket red flare, the pumps bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Frisco, Texas, 25 miles north of the city of Dallas, and the 2019 ACHA Women's Division I National Championship. Game number 3, the Adrian College Bulldogs and the Mckendree University Bearcats, and a best of 3 series. Joining me, Brett Luthner, Boz Echevarria on the call. Brett, good to be with you today, man.
Good again to be with you. Back here after the morning session.
Yeah, a little nap time in between the games, but well, I guess not because of the game, but just because we wanted to take a break.
Yep.
But nevertheless, we do thank you for being here for this early evening, late afternoon type game for the Women's National Championship. Of course, a best 2 out of 3 series. And for the Adrian College Bulldogs, a return trip. They were the runners-up last year in the 2018 National Championship. So they're coming in with some high expectations.
They are. They're coming in national champions 2 years ago, runner-ups last year to Liberty. They want their crown back, so to speak. But first they have to get past the Mckendree team that they had trouble with this season. 2 one-goal games. One of them went to overtime. So they cannot overlook this Bearcat team.
Yeah, of course, like you can't overlook them, and the fact that you're going to get real familiar with them over the next 2, possibly 3 days, depending how this game goes. Adrian College in the white sweaters, Mckendree Bearcats in the purple sweaters, and this will go all the way back into the Bulldog zone, and that's how we'll get started. As back to play this is Colby Donald. Mckendree with a shot that didn't get on frame. It was a good possession there as the Bulldogs now with a 3-on-1 rather quickly. Carrying into the zone, cross ice, and a save by the goaltender in Liasic to start this game off.
And you got to be careful, Mckendree. You don't want to give Adrian too many odd man rushes out in the other direction because they got some goal scorers that'll hurt you. You know, Boscher on the season at 12 goals. Levasseur had 14 goals. So, you know, and again, more down the line, another 14 for Hardy, another 12 for Williams. A lot of goal scorers on this team.
Five players over the 20-point mark for these Adrian College Bulldogs. This will be iced all the way, and we will have our first icing. The face-off will return to the Bearcat zone with just over 30 seconds elapsed in this first period.
So if you're Mckendree, limit the odd man rushes, as a water bottle has. Well, that didn't work.
There's a busted cap.
They wanted to throw the water bottle down towards the goal. The problem was the bottle exploded upon impact on the ice. So there goes a bottle full of water early on.
There is a bottle. It doesn't look like there's any water in that as the Bulldogs will win this face-off. And there to block the shot was Laura Wentz. She'll pull off for the first change as Zone sends this on frame and turned aside by the goaltender. Now the puck laid out in front and a couple of stops there by the goaltender in Liasic. Sent back as she just sticks this one away, but the play still out front is Hardy with the puck, shoots it, and a save. As closing the 5-hole off was Naomi Liasic, and very quickly the Bulldogs have sent 5 shots on frame in the first 55 seconds.
She comes in with a record of 6-7 or 2.01 goals against and a rather stellar .938 save percentage. Which just tells you she faces some shots, turns most of them aside.
A pair of good goaltenders for the Bearcats as finally getting this one out where the Bearcats as the Bulldogs applying some pressure in the neutral zone. This one was knifed off the stick by Burbage. Up ahead and knocking over the linesman was Robinson as this one sent the lay through the ice, and no icing there as the Bulldogs will break out of their own end from behind their own net. The puck is Arnold. Arnold gains his neutral zone as Polari tried to get this one deep. Failed on her attempt where Williams will corral it. Tried to walk into the neutral zone. She finally does, and having her skates whacked at by, looks like a Bearcat player. That was number 67, Burbage. Laid out behind the Bearcat neck. Finally up but not out, and have some trouble getting this one out is going to be Garrow. Sitting back deep in the Bearcat zone. There to play it for the Bulldogs was Coleman. Into the corner and kind of getting stifled there by a Bearcat player was a Bulldog in the form of McDonald. Played right in front of the scoring area and our PA announcer and Andy Storrs, who so wonderfully gave us the rendition of the Star Spangled Banner.
It's the 3rd year in a row he's done it. They're both years in Columbus, does a wonderful job at it, as well as the public address announcer.
Yeah, and should be noted that Andy Storrs sings all the anthems at all the games on this rink. Yep. And he hasn't lost a beat since he started doing that.
Nope. And, you know, he'll get some throat lozenges at the end of all of it. But he really does do such a good job.
And if need be, he does sing the Canadian national anthem as well.
Yes, which may happen.
Ziemba fired this one in the skates of a Bulldog player, and Garrow ensues behind the Bearcat net, as we'll go end to end and into the far side corner where Ziemba was there to knock it back towards the end boards. Now down low, Levasseur sent it out in front, no one was there, and coming out and playing it at her own blue line was Tanya Candido. Rolled it off the glass, up ahead near side for Levasseur. Who'll dump this one deep, and back to play this behind her own net was Liasik, the goaltender. As Brett mentioned, a .938 save percentage, so the Bearcats going to rely on her to make sure that the Bulldogs don't get a whole lot of chances, as looking to maintain some offensive pressure is the Bearcats. Up ahead for the Bulldogs, trying to walk that in, it was Parody, and she lost it where Hardy will play it. Hardy, or excuse me, that is Hardy, as the net finally comes dislodged. We'll hold with 16:19 left in period number 1.
Just trying to figure out, stream a little bit out of sync in a moment, so we just got to line it all back up.
We thank you for joining us on the ACHA Network, of course, a streaming service, and grateful that you've joined us on this Wednesday afternoon from Dallas, Texas. We'll call it Frisco if we're going to be exact here, but the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and turned away by Liasik. Still kept in the zone by Zden, as now getting it into the zone. His shot was turned away by a host of Bearcat defenders, as going back to play this is Arnold. Arnold from her own blue line gets this up and it went over a stick, but we'll go all the way down for icing, as this faceoff will come to the Bulldog zone, and might be the first chance for the Bearcats to maintain some offensive pressure since the first 30 seconds of this hockey game.
See what they could build here off the face-off. First order of business to win it.
And they do. And from the point is Walt Billing, as she just sends this one all the way down, where a Bulldog player, nice stick check there as play ensues in the corner. Finally up, and play will be halted.
Trying to figure out what they're calling. Penalty somewhere. You hear the song that they play for the penalties, but I guess not.
Of course, the song that they do play, that's enough of that for the penalties. We'll find out who the credit goes to. Looks like it should be Mila Mason, the artist who sings that song. Hear that every time there's a penalty played here, as now down low. It looks like we are still at 5-on-5, so
no penalty. Maybe
a hand pass, or maybe the puck was frozen. As a battle ensues in the corner. Going out with it were the Bearcats, finally up and out. Walking that one out was, it's like Williams who walked that one out. Holford fanned on the D-to-D attempt, and she'll just come near side boards to play. This is Robinson. Robinson didn't get it out of the zone as their Bearcats recovered, and finally up and out where Robinson now has it, walks into the Bearcat zone, rubbed off the puck there by Ivanowski. Back to neutral ice, and to play this D-to-D is Candido, and she'll go for Wilson. Wilson up ahead for a player that was marked in the form of McDonald. But the Bulldogs will get it to the Bearcat zone. Finally angled and caromed off the boards. Back to play this, Wilson. A little bit of transitional hockey going on in the last 2 minutes or some change. Red line to red line, turnover here, and into the zone onside are the Bulldogs. Near side for Coleman. Coleman watched by a Bearcat and Davey. Davey and Garrow down in the corner. Or Hoadley, excuse me. Coleman trying to dig this one out. Finally sent to the front of the net, and covering up there is Liasik, as it was drifting dangerously closer to her crease, but no Bulldogs there to kind of threaten the goal here.
And early on, Mckendree's done a good job. After that 3-on-1 rush, they've done a good job of just keeping everything away, like any serious traffic away from the front of the net. And they got to continue to do that if they're going to have success in this series.
Sear wins it. A shot. There's traffic in front. And stifled by the Bearcat defense up from the blue line. Fanning on it, but Bulldogs getting the line they were onside. Pulling up as Yemba sent this to the slot. Zidane. Shot looking for an Adrian College player who's camped out in front of the net. Now walking back and sending this one deep was Harrison. And below the plate, a couple of Bulldogs, a couple of Bearcats. Zidane. Up and a couple of shots there and a save by the goaltender in Liasek with 13-12 left in the first period.
Liasek's been playing well so far, looking sharp. You have to against this potent Adrian attack that's got 5 girls, 5 of their ladies with 10 goals or more on the season. Balanced and yet dangerous in that aspect as well.
Yeah, should be a interesting first period here as we're going to see how defensively the Bearcats try to manage those offensive threats on the side. Now Hardy in the corner, angled up off the boards for a D. Now here near side for Harrison, a one-time shot. That was wide of everyone. For Hardy at the far side, hash marks into the slot, carrying his Bosher, and a save by Liasek as the shot total climbs to 9 from 8. And the Bears still looking for the first shot of the game.
Now we see Bears on the scoreboard. We're going to see if they can correct that a bit. But
Bearcats to be precise, yes.
But yeah, I mean, Adrian, their offensive pressure can will teams, and they're very good at it, very good at attacking the net. So if you're Mckendree, just ride out this pressure right now. Good little chip out. If you can catch up to those, possibly get the counterattack going, you might be able to catch this Adrian team on their heels a bit.
Bearcats are offside. They had to hold up before, and now maybe a turnover here and sending this to the slot, knowing home is Albee. The rest of her teammates were beyond the blue line as they were trying to regroup after being offside momentarily. Circling around is Ivanowski. And now up ahead, guided for Wentz. And the Bearcats going offside with 12-10 in the opening frame.
If you're the Bearcats, though, you don't want to be offside, but keep everything down in that opposite end as much as possible. I'd like to see them maybe possess the puck more. Play that possession game so that keep the puck off of Bulldogs' sticks. Even if it's just, cycling down low, trying to work out something. You don't get many shots, but you try to get some quality and crushing net for the rebound. Possessing the puck might be key for Mckendree as well.
And Mckendree still looking for the first recorded shot on goal as there's currently a goose egg as we surpass the 8-minute mark of the first period. And trying to set the play up there was Studnicka. Up ahead, it was off target there, and now back to corral it is Donald. Donald will wrap it around the boards. And Parody will play it in the near side corner. Now D to D far side. Donald had let this one go as the Bulldogs get this one out. And a 3-on-1 ensues. Into the slot, and mishandling it there was Kaylee Hardy, the lead point scorer for the Adrian College Bulldogs. Up ahead, it was just off the blade for Hardy as she blows a tire. Angled up off the glass. Back to play this in her own zone is Harrison.
Anytime you go down like that when you lose an edge of some sort, as you say, the tire goes on you, it's not a fun feeling.
And look out, Mckendree College bench.
It's also not a fun feeling as a puck comes flying at you in the bench. We've seen that a couple times in the men's divisions where someone wants to launch one, and unfortunately it's the bench area, and you see a whole bunch of people scurrying to get out of the way.
It's always interesting when players don't, or coaches don't flinch with a piece of galvanized rubber being sent in your direction. Faceoff comes right on top of the Dallas Stars logo, and immediately being kicked out was number 19, Dominica Rush. And with it gaining the zone and putting on the Jetsons wall billing as going back to play this is Dan. Office, Adrian College player out in front, angled up and out of the zone. And going back to play this is wall building, as she's going to have to try to win a race. And puts on the brakes and reverses her tracks just momentarily.
Nice idea.
Arnold in the far corner rattles it around the boards near side for Coleman. Coleman finally gets this out, but only momentarily, as Arnold will have to play this behind her own net. A couple of players from Mckendree College looking for a forecheck as a almost dangerous turnover was sent right back to the zone, and finally covering up a puck was the goaltender in Colombo.
And there's an opportunity where, if you, I mean, obviously that puck came right on top of her real quickly, but if you have that, if you get that turnover, quick counter, that would have been an ultra quick counter the other way, you might be able to capitalize on your opportunities.
They do credit Adrian College, or excuse me, Mckendree University with a shot on that, so that would be their first shot of the game, coming about 9 minutes, just over 9 minutes into this game one of a three-game set, potential three-game set, I should probably say. And the second one, and a wide open net in front. Shot again, and up and over as the net came off its moorings, and there's going to be I think there might be a discussion. But after 10 minutes and 5 seconds, we'll take our first break. You're watching Adrian College and Mckendree University on the ACHA Network.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Aries Sportswear, official merchandise partner of the ACHA. Howie's Hockey Tape, the official tape provider of the ACHA. And the City of Frisco.
And the face-off win. It'll go back for the Bulldogs as we rejoin you in Frisco, Texas for the 2019 ACHA Women's Division I National Championship Tournament. Game one of a potential three-game set. Of course, game two coming right at you tomorrow on the ACHA Network. A start time of 4 p.m. Central. That is tentative depending on the first two games if they end on time. Nevertheless, when sent down, it'll be in play as touching up where was Mckendree University. This one sent all the way down. However, this one will go for icing as it wasn't near anyone in the same zip code.
And by the way, that officially was not a timeout, a media timeout. So we're going to get another one soon because apparently the officials deemed that with the net coming off, it wasn't a line change situation. So get ready for another media timeout at the next good whistle, as we like to say.
I'm sure the sponsors will love that.
Oh, yeah, sponsors will love it for sure.
Yeah.
They'll get double run. I think.
They should.
Yeah, they should.
They should. Anyway, tie up here. That'll be corralled and sent to the far side boards by the Bulldogs. Up and finally out. Of course, the men's side of Adrian College, they had a marvelous Division I tournament. However, not completing the goal of defending their national championship. But nevertheless, getting back to the tournament and having a deep run, the women's team hoping to do the same thing as now breaking out is Robinson. Robinson from the far side dot had, looks like that one rolled off of her blade as the net comes off its moorings on this end, and we'll have a stoppage as Liashik was bent over.
She, what happened was is she got to her left post and I guess either caught an edge or lost it or whatever, but she just slipped, stumbled, and then fell right back. And that knocked the net off.
Of course, the good thing is that the net's move. You'd hate to see someone crash into it and suffer an injury when there's no give on it. Now, one time shot in front, was looking for a deflection as a Bulldog player was there. That shot coming in from Harrison.
Don't remind me about nets back in the 80s. Those things did not move.
Drill those posts right into the ice. In the far side corner, wrapped all the way around and play this behind her own net was Harrison. Harrison from the end line. D to D, and finally angled up but not out as Mckendree walks in and she scores!
There's that counterattack I was talking about, Boz. Just getting the turnover and being able to capitalize on a mistake. And in this case, for Mckendree, it's the number 20 of Dakota Peterson. Here's the turnover, just takes it right off the boards, steps in and goes top glove side. That's exactly what you need to do. She reads the play, steps right in, There's your quick counter and catch the goalie going down as she goes top shelf.
Top shelf right there. That's Dakota Peterson's 18th of the year. Officially, it's the first of the postseason as stats will reset for the postseason. And it is a goal, but a dangerous turnover. And on the fourth shot of the game, the Mckendree University Bearcats find themselves up by a goal.
But that's what I'm talking about with that counter. Take advantage of the mistakes that Adrian's going to make, and in that case, and we're going to get a penalty here. But she read the play well, jumped right into that lane, and created the turnover and the scoring opportunity.
Usually those high scoring opportunities come off of good defensive plays, sometimes in your own zone or sometimes at the zone of the opposing team. Mckendree University will go on the penalty kill as it's like the guilty party is going to be Brittany Coach.
Yeah, trip right at the blue line. It was kind of difficult to pass that one up.
And it looks like we actually
we'll get our community timeout.
We will get our timeout. So at 8:09 of the first period, it's 1-0 Mckendree University coming back. Adrian College going on the power play. Dallas, Texas, and 25 miles north, the Comerica Center, and the host of the ACHA 2019 Women's Division I National Tournament. Brett Luthner, Bozic Chavari with you on the call on this midweek matinee. I think we could call it a midweek matinee.
Yeah, okay.
Of course, the nightcap, the defending national champions, the Liberty Flames, are going to be taking their first skate of the tournament. We welcome you and thank you for joining us between battle between the Adrian College Bulldogs and the Mckendree University Bearcats. Been a fun one so far.
Yeah, so far Adrian had the first 9 shots of the game. Mckendree found their feet a little bit and getting the opening goal.
And Paradio chipped this one in the zone. It didn't get very far as it was returned right back out. But right now Adrian College basically dominating everything on the stat sheet except for the goal count. And that is the one stat that really matters when 60 minutes of hockey has surpassed.
Well, sometimes you can have every other stat category up and down the list and then in the end just not have the final score that's up on the scoreboard.
Near side boards, and it's going to be Robinson who pulls up, and she'll go far side of the Bulldogs enter the zone. Into the zone goes Ziemba. Puts on the brakes, reverses her track, now goes to the top. And down low, where the puck goes, Bosher is still out in front, and up and over, they score!
Well, that's capitalizing on the power play.
Looks like Bosher was there. We'll see who they give credit. There's a couple of Bulldogs in the area.
Well, looking at it, there's a scramble down in front. It popped over and in. So it was the initial shot coming up right here in the slot, just a kick puck, and it was popped up and over and in. So now we're tied at 1.
Levasseur and Robinson were in the zip code. We'll see who gets credit for it. Looks like it might have
should be
Robinson.
Levasseur.
Okay.
It should be.
Of course, the referees on the ice, the official word on who got it.
Give it to Robinson. Okay.
So they did give it to Robinson. The ruling it went off of her, and this one gloved down. Looked like by Wilson in the high slot. Now Coleman at center ice. Puck knifed off of her blade. And finally, deep into the zone as the Bearcats will try to play it. Trying to get there with some speed. Was a Bulldog player in the form of Erica McDonald. And not keeping it in is, looks like that was Dan. 6:13 left in the first period. The Bulldogs find an equalizing goal on the power play coming off the timeout. Shots in favor of Adrian College, 12-4, as they peppered Mckendree University with 5 shots in the first 55 seconds of this game. Backed up ahead, and Hardy will give chase. Kaylee Hardy, the top point scorer for the Adrian College Bulldogs, 34 on the year. Far side hash mark now guided up ahead, trying to keep this one in. Was Maddie Arnold, and now we'll go the other way as Dakota Peterson was forced to that far side, but still kept in the Bulldog zone. Up but not out, and back by the end boards is going to play this near side is Nicole Parody. We'll go D to D. Far side hash marks and up near side for Parody. Parody trying to generate some speed. She does gain the zone and try to stick handle by a couple of defenders, but good back check by Mckendree University. A shot where Liasic will have to make her 12th save of the afternoon.
It's interesting to see Adrian's got a lot of speed on the wings. And so to be able to take advantage of that, you still have to get around the edge. You hear that a lot in football, but it's also in hockey. You have to gain that edge, get around it to get towards the goal.
And we're going to have a penalty here. It looks like it's going to be against Mckendree, and it is, and Adrian College already 1 for 1 on the power play. We'll go back on the power play as there's a cross check. Looks like it's going to be the captain and Callie Audley, who's the guilty party.
I didn't see where that was, though. I didn't see Audley's cross check there. I mean, it might have been in the circle. You know, when players sometimes they get that draw and they spin themselves around, maybe that little push off, and that's about the only place I can guess where it might have been.
We will reset and try this face off one more time. 5:08 left in period number 1. And coming in to take the draw is Polari.
Nope, we'll do it again.
And
they're telling the wingers to stay out of the circle, and they're being strict about it.
yeah, we saw this last year in Columbus, and it kind of became a storyline how many people were getting kicked off out of the circle. Nevertheless, here near side is Holferty. She'll go back to the top. On the other end, a shot that's turned away by Liasic. Trying to keep this one deep was Dan. And she turns around, sees a Bearcat player up there. Pulls up and down below the red line as she might have a passing lane cross ice. Decides not to take it. Goes up for Arnold. Arnold, and down low, off the carom, off the corner boards, is the player in Mercek. Getting tied up there, finally back out to Polari. Polari walks out from the bottom of the red line, sent something to the slot, and waiting for that was a Bearcat player in Laura Wentz. 70 seconds left on the power play for the Bulldogs.
You don't want to over pursue too much, because then you leave half the ice open for this kind of a counter. But a good job there at the blue line to just cancel everything out and send it back down.
And back down for Candido. Near side, picking that one up is Williams. She gains his own. Williams walks in. Still with the puck, pulls up the brakes at the corner and back up to the top. We're to play this as Candido. Down low for Parody. Parody tried to walk in, back for Candido. She sends one up, hit a couple of skates. Trying to get that was the captain in Parody. And down low, back where Hardy will play it. Up for Parody. Parody from the near side hash. Back for Hardy. She tried to walk into the slot, wasn't there, decides to come back out. She'll receive the puck up to Candido. Parody. Sent to the slot. Couldn't fire off a shot was Williams. She was camped out in the high slot area. 8 seconds left on the power play. Now near side for Parody, 2 and 1 as the Bearcats have killed this penalty off. Williams still walks in though. And a decent possession at least for the Adrian College Bulldogs as they still are tied with Mckendree University. They got the game-tying goal as back the other way. Now with speed. A shot that was well wide of that near corner from Albee. And we're going to have a penalty, the first one to Adrian College.
And this is what hard work is going to get you. You're going to be able to draw penalties on your opposition.
So the Bearcats will go on their first power play. The guilty party there, Jess Harrison. She goes for checking. .251 left in the first period. And thanks for joining us. Game 1 between Adrian College and Mckendree University. Sent out in front and turned away by the goaltender in Colombo. It's been a while since we've called her name. She's only faced 5 shots. Yeah, there's that 5th shot. Finally turned 1. 4 or 5 right now as going back to play. This is number 5 in Delaney Ivanowski. Up and over everyone, and trying to play this out was Arnold. The Bearcats do gain the zone. With it is Peterson, and a shot that is turned away by Colombo. Finally up and out of the zone as the Bearcats will regroup from just outside the red line. Oh, and a bad turnover there. Here comes Adrian College all alone. The shot! Tried to move, maybe a little too patient, was Mercek. She didn't get a good one off. It looked like it was poked off her stick by the goaltender in Liasik. And we'll go 4-on-4 as a penalty against. That's going to be a 5-on-3.
Yeah, that's a hooking. Adrian trying to aggressively get to that puck, and in the process, a little bit of a tug, because they thought when you feel an opponent reeling, sometimes you want to go after, and unfortunately in this case, a little bit too aggressive. This is the first time I've seen 2 penalties on this scoreboard on one side.
We've had a couple of them before. 1:59 or 1:49 left on the clock. The Bearcats will have about 58 seconds of a 5-on-3, and will finish the period if they don't score on the power play. The Bulldogs send this one back out as the Bearcats looking to break in. This one re-guided up, but not out of the zone, as now to play this is Clark. And a drive off the pad save by Colombo. Corralled off, finally sent up but not out. It wasn't a good clear. Davey had it. She sent it back in. It hit Hardy in front of the net. And a drive again that goes wide. Shot off by the stick of Studnicka. Finally up and out. A good play there by Candido. She comes out. Stakano's away. She's all by herself. Colombo. Oh, she didn't get the goal as coming across was Liasik.
Well, that's a left pad save and a beauty. Just sliding across, staying with it, and flashing that left leather strap out there.
Candido, we'll see if we get a replay of it, but Candido almost getting a go-ahead goal on a 5-on-3 penalty kill with 11 seconds left on it. Now down and taken on the far side is going to be Messick. She turned it over, and it was left in front of the net where Studnicka will play it. She tries to generate some speed up ahead and in the zone onside were the Bearcats, but a good back check there by Polari as now it becomes a power play for the Bearcats. They're offside, but back to play is Studnicka. She'll go D to D where Davey will play it. Now up ahead at the red line for Wagner. Wagner stick handles through from the slot, shoots. It hits a Bulldog player in front of the net. So far, a good penalty kill for the Adrian College Bulldogs. Now for Ivanowski, a shot that never got to the net. Back for Ivanowski. She'll fire from the top of the circle. It was wide of the near post. Up and finally out off the skate. It is finally out now. A little preemptive predicting there as pulling off for a change. As Polari, she skates off rather slow. Late change, bad change, you might call it for the Bulldogs. But nevertheless, the period expires and we are ended with a 1-1 score.
Decent first period. A lot of shots on the Adrian side. Again, Mckendree, their goal coming off the counter, off of the turnover. Adrian capitalizing on the power play. You know, it's a matter of Adrian, you know, if they want to be successful, need to play their game. Mckendree has to utilize that counter and stay out of the penalty box.
They've had a couple of opportunities. We'll see how the story unfolds after the first 20 minutes. Adrian College won, and Mckendree University won. You're watching the 2019 ACHA Women's Division I National Championship Tournament.
Support them as they've supported us. Aries Sportswear, the official merchandise supplier of the 2019 ACHA National Championship. This is the merchandise table on the upper concourse here at Comerica Center for all your 2019 ACHA Nationals hats, shirts, sweatshirts, and more. Black Baron Championship rings, the official ring vendor for all ACHA National Champions and ACHA Hall of Famers. When your championship ring has a great story, let Baron share yours. My Budget Car Rental, the preferred car rental agency of the ACHA. Discounts and special benefits are available for all ACHA membership and fans as detailed on the ACHA website. Budget Car Rentals, get out of the ordinary. By the Dallas Stars, when you're not watching exciting ACHA action here at Nationals, consider taking in an upcoming Stars game. By Edge Protect, the official ACHA
Come on! You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy! Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate! Skate! Pass it! You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck! Come on!
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like it even more than birthday cake.
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. They usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be?
Hello? Hi.
Surely that can't be practical.
She loves to see you.
But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest.
Hi!
Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth might not just benefit the great, but the good also. In small ways, and in grand ones.
Dad.
The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little.
At Wilson Electronics, we push every day to amplify the power of communication, to connect those who love and those who cannot live without it.
Dallas, Texas, in a stadium that has been sold out for months, the Cotton Bowl.
Notre Dame leading 17-14. 1:10 remaining in the game, and Texas with Street at quarterback. Street gets to the second man for a touchdown for Texas.
The 2020 Bridgestone NHL Winter Classic, an annual celebration of hockey's heritage. Tickets on sale April 23rd. The Cotton Bowl, New Year's Day. It's gonna be a classic.
The Dallas Stars, have put on camps like this, and we're just really trying to build hockey in the communities around Dallas.
Learn to skate and play hockey for free at Children's Health Star Centers. All throughout DFW, kids ages 4 to 14 can join Rookies programs presented by Lexus. Equipment is included and kids will get a free jersey to take home. For more information, visit dallasstars.com/rookies.
know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy! Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate. Skate. Pass it. You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck. Come on.
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like it even more than birthday cake.
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. They usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be?
Hello? Hi.
Surely that can't be practical.
She loves to see you.
But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest.
Hi!
Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth might not just benefit the great, but the good also. In small ways, and in grand ones.
Dad.
The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little.
At Wilson Electronics, we push every day to amplify the power of communication, to connect those who love and those who cannot live without it.
Dallas, Texas, in a stadium that has been sold out for months, the Cotton Bowl.
Notre Dame leading 17-14. 1:10 remaining in the game, and Texas with Street at quarterback. Street gives to the second man for a touchdown for Texas.
The 2020 Bridgestone NHL Winter Classic, an annual celebration of hockey's heritage. Tickets on sale April 23rd. The Cotton Bowl, New Year's Day. It's gonna be a classic.
The Dallas Stars have put on camps like this, and we're just really trying to build hockey in the communities around Dallas.
Learn to skate and play hockey for free at Children's Health Star Centers. All throughout DFW, kids ages 4 to 14 can join Rookies programs presented by Lexus. Equipment is included and kids will get a free jersey to take home. For more information, visit DallasStars.com/rookies.
Dallas, Texas, up north, Frisco, Texas, home of the 2019 ACHA Division I Women's National Championship. And inside the Comerica Center, Brett Luthner, Baza Travari alongside with you. And we've had a doozy through the first 20 minutes, 11 seconds of carryover penalty time that Adrian College will have to maneuver. And your thoughts through the first 20, Brett?
Well, just what I said, Mckendree capitalizing on a counterattack and Adrian capitalizing on the power play. And so 1-1. Let's see how the second plays out.
And that will do it for the second. I guess there's a couple of penalties in there and a scramble out in front, still poking at it. Where the Mckendree University Bearcats trying to regain a 1-goal lead. Sent out in front, turned away by the goaltender in Colombo. Now back as that penalty has since expired and trying to just get this one deep as Levasseur. As the Bulldogs considered a change, just 40 seconds in. Of course, the ever adventurous long change of the second period, or the even periods, if you did get extra hockey.
And if you're Mckendree now and you want to really control the flow of play here, not allow many rebounds, try to get stoppages as much as possible.
Right up ahead and into the Bearcat zone. Icing waved off. Near side hopped over the stick of a Adrian College player in the form of Boschner. Finally up at the red line. Hardy with a 2-on-1. Adrian College with a couple opportunities. Shot turned away by the goaltender in Liasik, who's done a fabulous job turning away 15 of 16 shots through the first period and a little bit more. Harrison goes D to D, drive. It hit a skate in front, still laid out in front of the slot. They're finally out of the circle and out of the zone for the Bearcats. Now getting to it as she was ran into was Zidane. Back into the Bearcat zone, go to the Bulldogs. Slot up in front, walking in and wide of the near side post. The shot, or I guess it wouldn't count as a shot, but the attempt came from that far side of the rink.
We don't have the advanced metrics going on out there, shots missed and all that stuff.
Of course, I'm sure the analytic fans would love to know what those are. And we'll go D to D. Far side face-off circle, near side, but yeah, analytics kind of running the way of how we view sports these days.
Yeah, the analytics, well, analytic fans and Stratomatic fans. And John Peterson would roll his eyes at me saying that.
We'll go angled up far side and not getting it very far. It was Robinson, who does get credit for that power play goal that evened this game up. Polari tried to corral it and hopped over her stick. Arnold will go down for Polari. She re-angled it into a Bearcat stick. Polari now up ahead. Williams played it. Williams tried to knife it up ahead. It didn't happen as this one goes up and out of the zone. Wide of the near post. Goes to the far side corner to play that. Davey. Now McDonald just angles this and kind of poked it up ahead in the corner. Slot attempt, centering pass, denied there by the Bearcats. Out of the zone where Donald played it. She played it to her teammate in McDonald, who gains his own. Up and nice stick handling move, and net came off its moorings well ahead of that shot. And right now, the goaltenders are really literally kicking off the posts.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I've noticed when the goals have been put back on the goal line is normally you'd see referees when they put the peg down, they drop the goalpost on that peg, and you would get that nice, good stamp into the ice. They're not doing that here. They're just practically laying them down. I don't think you get as much of an anchor when you do it that way.
Yeah, it kind of this rink has had some character during this tournament. A couple of stoppages just due to the glass coming off, some boards issues.
Weather-related issues.
Weather-related issues was a part of the men's Division I tournament. Of course, Sledgehammer Man trending through one of the broadcasts as they were trying to fix the boards. Hopefully no delays here as a turnover as Dan forced it. She tries to walk in, protect the puck a little bit, and then lost it off the back of the net.
And I got Peter Gabriel going on in my head right now.
Any song in particular?
Sledgehammer.
Okay, all right. So Dan sends this one in off the end boards. Knifed up as Adrian College corrals it. Well, the Sear played it. She's being harassed by a couple of Bearcats. Up in! Looking for Hardy, who was camped out in front of the net.
That was a good little save there on a shot through a screen.
Trying to backhand this one deep was Wilson, and now with the puck is Parody. Parody walks around the back of the net. Tried to feed it in front of the net. It was denied by Burbage. Near side battle as Parody will walk away with the puck. Up the blue line, she dropped it for Harrison, who just gets this one deep. Throwing it is Bosher. Bosher walks to the slot. Maybe a backhand attempt. She fed it there, and they score!
Might have gone in off a defender. That would have been an excellent backdoor pass there. But still, you're seeing the territorial pressure of Adrian pay off. Let's see if it bounces off a defender. Oh, Lord, what a pass. Oh, what a pass across on the backhand. It found its way through. Two defenders, but not active with their sticks, and a tap-home goal.
Yeah, Parody should get credit for it. We'll check in with PA announcer Andy Storrs for the official particulars of that.
We'll bring him up, I guess. Once he starts announcing it.
Yep, should be a second. He's on top of it right now.
Well, we're not getting his microphone, so.
Yeah, looks like he might have turned off his mic, but it was Parody who ended up getting the goal. Polari up and over, and this one might be a souvenir for someone as it rolls off the marquees that are in front of us. They have.
If that's a souvenir, it's for us.
A souvenir for all the hard work you've done, Brett.
There you go.
We do thank you for joining us on this Wednesday afternoon, trending toward, we're going to go twilight here, 5 o'clock locally in Dallas, Texas. Of course, home to the Dallas Stars, the Dallas Mavericks, the Dallas Cowboys, probably more well-known of a marketing ploy by the NFL. Of course, the Cowboys, they practice not too far away from here. At least when the NFL is in season, laid out in front in the high slot and trying to get to it. Crawling it is Ivanowski. Up as now with it is Fortune as she lost this. It was sent all the way back down. Good forecheck by the Bearcats as they're looking for an equalizing goal. 2-1 to score in favor of the Bulldogs. In the slot and misfired. Shot and score! Ivanowski nets this game even.
Counterattack again, Boz. And really just creating, capitalizing on pressure. It is the turnover in the slot and the shot right there put home. That's how Mckendree is going to be successful, capitalizing on opportunities. There's the turnover, and the shot just fanned on, and now we're at low level again.
When we talk about clearing attempts in the one area you don't want to try to clear the puck is right up the middle, and that's where that turnover occurred.
Right.
D to D as we're all netted up again. A pair of goals in the second period. Two's wild in period number 2.
Deuce is wild. And I say that a lot in baseball.
Not quite a 2-2 count as now gaining the zone is Clark. Clark from the far side corner fed out in front as she did have a teammate in there. Drive off the mask of the goaltender in Jacek. So Ivanowski does get credit for the goal. And we're going to have it, and we do have an injured Bearcat on the far side of the ice.
Yeah, she went into the boards a little bit awkwardly. Might have got, the way she's moving around, it looks like she got the wind knocked out of her.
And she is sitting up, so that is a good sign, and hopefully up under her own power. And she's slow to get up. Don't have the number on her yet, but being looked at by the trainers.
Yeah, that was what she's skating off on her own power. Just got the wind knocked out of her pretty much the way it looked.
Yeah, that's number 40, Madison Messick. As she skates off into the bench. It looks like she is fine. She'll probably be met with the trainers, a couple of questions, ask her what her name is, where she's at, and maybe what day of the week it is. Sometimes tough questions to answer if you're perfectly normal and functioning.
Well, for some members of our broadcast crew.
No names.
Not going to mention any names.
Davey rings this around the boards. It'll go out of the, not quite out of the zone as winning the race there was Adrian College. They just get this one deep as now giving chase is Mercick. Mercick was a part of that runner-up team last year, finished second overall in the ACHA D1 Women's, losing to Liberty. And what was really a good game sent down in front. Ziemba, a shot redirected that finds the logo on the chest of Naomi Liasek, who for the better part of 2 periods has made 17 saves.
Yep, she's done well, Liasek. By the way, and we didn't want to mention any names, but we do have to mention a name because sometimes he blurs the days, but AJ Bolden's done a great job putting all of this together and producing and everything.
And understandably so, he blends the days. It's been a heck of a wild ride, and we do thank you for the hard work that you've done in preparation and also in putting this broadcast together. I do want to make it known, AJ Bolden works really hard because not only does he run this national championship broadcast for all 5 divisions, but he also runs the University of Utah hockey program, which should be mentioned in this broadcast, as we're going to hang on to what that news is, turned away by the goaltender in Colombo. Let play ensue before we get to the news about it. That does regard Women's Division I and the growth of Women's Division I. Finally up and still kept in. Good job there by the Bearcats as walking in is Wentz. Wentz, a shot that found the skate and leg pads of Kylene Wilson. Hardy will play it far side, up and out of his own. Parody, who got the goal, which at the time was a go-ahead goal. Parody now with it, sent up to the slot. Trying to corral was Bosher. Bosher couldn't do it as she tumbles to the ice. Watch there by Laura Wentz. Wentz will circle around her net and go into the corner. Looks like Mckendree University was looking for a possible interference call. Is back to play. This is Wilson. D to D. We'll save it for the next stoppage what that news is. And I know AJ Bolden's excited for the growth that he has, and talk about the hard work that he puts in out in Salt Lake City. The crisp air of the Wasatch Front.
Not only that, he's a Pac-8 commissioner. He's got his own business going on as well. It's a man of many hats, and to be able to do the job that he does is amazing. So while we wanted to joke around, and some might not know what the day is, AJ, we totally appreciate his efforts, and Matt Coma and everybody else here as well.
Yeah, you know, I've had the chance to be a part of that University of Utah media crew for a number of years, and you know, that's a first-class organization that has a lot of growth coming this way, and trying to feed that into the slot was Tony Candido of the Adrian College Bulldogs. Sent a front knife down, and a redirect that was saved by Liasek, and Liasek turning away a couple of fierce attempts by the Bulldogs. Right now the Bulldog swarm is still fed out in front. Is knifing this one down was Messick. Messick left this behind. Peterson gets ran into the inboards. Now back for Holferty. Holferty will walk along the blue line before going D to D. And Candido sends it front. We're going to have a penalty, and turned away by Liasek on a point-blank shot. Wow. Liasek had trouble getting back after that save, but a penalty coming up to the Bearcats. Walking in, Hardy, she feeds it in front, turned away. The Bulldogs just can't get the puck right now. Back to the point where Holford will have it. Goes D to D, a little errant pass to Candido. Probably looking for a one-timer with all that traffic. Now down low to play. This is Hardy. Hardy at her end line. Now for Peterson, or excuse me, Coleman. Back for Holford at the point. Holford puts on the brakes. Stick handles, and we'll finally get that. Right. Oh, yeah, that was a late call. It was a touching from. We'll get our penalty. And a gassed Bearcat unit will go right on the penalty kill as Dakota Peterson, the guilty party for a cross check. But back to the news that we did want to, well, I guess it's not really news, it's old news, but AJ Bolden, the fact that he works so diligently. The University of Utah going to introduce a women's Division I program. So we talked about the growth in women's Division I, and you know, the workload that AJ Bolden puts on, and he has high expectations for that program and these broadcasts.
So if Utah makes the national tournament in the next year or so, AJ, you're on for an interview. By the way, and by the way, you know, before we get back, Andrew does a great job here. Josh, Justin, everybody doing a great job producing at other sites as well here. Just don't want to leave them out. Want to give
absolutely.
them their just due. And they're going to need to step up because if Utah makes that tournament, AJ's on first intermission.
Of course, Brandon's been a replay guy this whole tournament. He's done a great job on official reviews, as it looks like Mckendree assistant coach Nina Elia was asking for possible clarifications on the assessed penalty that'll put the Bulldogs, which are so far 1 for 2.
Don't forget Milan doing some work here as well.
And should be noted, Milan, he's from Eastern Europe, and he's been a part of this broadcast. Of course, he's kept tabs on the University Hockey League, ACHA equivalent in Europe right now, and he's done a fantastic job there. We love having him here, and the work that he does. Kept in by Harrison as Mckendree University was looking for a hook. Probably not enough to warrant a call, but it was a hook by the standards in the rulebook left out in front as Lavasier tried to send this on frame. She had her stick tied, and she'll gather herself from the top of the circle. Had to pass down low. This one will finally come up and out of the zone as Mckendree on that long change did. Mckendree realizing the weird caroms that you'll get on the stanchions. Good way to get in that clearing zone was Alyssa Albee as she'll corral this and then takes a cross check for her endeavors.
And that'll get the penalty. And it was right in front of the referee.
Right in front of both referees as they will talk and agree on the call. I don't think any argument from either official.
It was just a matter of who's going to go to the box to make the call.
Do you want to make the call or should I make the call? Kendall Hanley and Jenna Jansen, the women in orange stripes, managing the pace and the rules application in this game with 9:06 left in the middle frame. 56 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey. As the Bulldogs win the faceoff, skated up ahead. Up and over the stick is coming out to play this. It was a goaltender in Liasek who's made 20 saves on 22 shots.
Tell you what, she plays the puck decently with the stick, and she slung that across to the boards. That's a trait, I should say, taken for granted these days. You expect goalies a lot to be able to play the puck well, but not all the time it happens that way.
I think Martin Brodeur for all the goalies who want to go out and play the puck.
Actually, if you really want to get technical, Ron Hextall was the first one that could really do it, but Marty. And I say this as a Jersey, and Marty took it to another completely different level.
Well, the 4-on-4 will expire in 6 seconds. Is a shot that was saved by Liasek on a marvelous scoring opportunity from Zidane.
And what's interesting, too, about that is a lot of people, they always want to get, rip the neutral zone trap and everything. But guess what? When you play dump and chase hockey, and you have a goalie who can handle the puck like Martin Brodeur could, he was a third defenseman.
And we are going to get a stoppage here.
Media timeout, I believe.
It would be interesting with a media timeout just because we are in the midst of a
4-on-4, so.
4-on-4. And we will take that media timeout. Little miscommunication with 8:11 left in period number 2. It's Adrian College 2 and Mckendree University 2.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Barron Championship Rings, proud sponsor and championship ring provider for the ACHA. Warrior Sports, the preferred stick supplier of the ACHA. The Dallas Stars. For tickets and more information, visit dallasstars.com. And Southwest Airlines, the official event airline partner of the 2019 ACHA National Championships.
And back at the Comerica Center, Brett Luthner, Boz Echevarri with you on a gorgeous Wednesday afternoon in Frisco, Texas.
Yeah.
Of course, we're indoors, so we don't really get to partake of the outdoors too much.
We could if we open up those shades over there, but I don't know how much they'd like that too much.
Shades of Columbus and the natural lighting that we had inside of the Ohio Health Ice House.
And it might be the reason why a few people have come down with some colds and whatnot. You know, along with their first experience of the national tournament here.
Well, it's going to be a power play situation for the Bearcats of Mckendree University, as after 1 second that penalty expired. 56 seconds left of power play time, as with speed getting his own was Peterson. Peterson will go to the point and drop near side here for, that was Suzuki. Anyway, now where the puck is Ivanowski, who did score a goal on the last goal for the Bearcats. Shot in front, looking for a deflection. Camped out in front was Peterson. Near boards we go. It'll rattle it all the way around. But waiting for it was a Bearcat player, as playing that rather nicely was Candido before she was canceled out by a Bearcat. Candido's still there. She'll win the puck back and send this 200 feet, as Adrian College will give chase. The rest of the line pulling off. Candido staying on. She takes a peek at how much time's left, which is 6 seconds. And trying to cut this one off was Clark, as we go to the last 2-1, and the penalty has expired. No ice, as Harrison thought about going straight to the bench, but you know, who wants to pass up an offensive zone opportunity?
I sure wouldn't.
Harrison does finally come off, and a shot fought off by Liasik. She made another 2 saves there in a perilous spot for the Bearcats.
I tell you what, she is really sharp today, Boz. I've been very impressed with her positioning, very impressed with her agility in the crease.
Kind of like to say it, you got to build your team from the goal crease out, and Liasik so far has a hot hand if you're the Bearcats. Of course, they have another very able goaltender in Jasmine Malinowski, who also has a .937 on the season, a save percentage.
And who was also featured in an NHL.com article.
Yeah. We'll
let that off.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to the near break, about the ACHA, the growth, and the support that they get from, we're going to have a call here. It looks like Rob could argue hooking, tripping, stick infraction, some kind of stick infraction. So Adrian College will go back. Yeah, tripping. They'll go back on the power play. But, of course, the goaltender in Jasmine Malinowski, featured on an NHL.com article, she let it off.
Yeah, let it off. Talks about basically, which is a big misconception, is everybody just think this is a glorified Sunday league essentially, and in reality, American Collegiate Hockey Association is much more talented than that. And it was a great article with all the benefits about the ACHA and the growth and everything.
Of course, there's a lot of NHL support. The Dallas Stars, the hosting NHL team for this tournament and the tournament next year, which will be right back here at the Comerica Center. Now to the top, as Candido had her attempt sent in, denied by Salvola. Still out in front, as looking at it cross the front of her crease. A couple of down Bulldogs in front. Hardy will play it from the top of the circle. As she walks into the faceoff dot, will leave it down below the line, off the end boards. A slight give and go, as Liasik will cover it up as a puck trickled in front of her.
I'll give you an example, though, about why this is definitely not glorified Sunday league, is a weeknight league in terms of hockey. Last year, I actually sat for one of the national semifinals right around this Adrian Bulldog team. And when you listen to them talk about the game, it's in depth. It's with a lot of strategic and technical thoughts and abilities in mind. And it's just, everybody just wants to say, oh, they're just out there having, just skating around a bit. And that's certainly not the case.
Adrian College really looking for those give and go passes. Harrison from the ACHA logo. She'll find Boschner on the far side hash mark, as Ziemba will walk behind her own net. Now up ahead here, near side for Harrison. She'll cross ice. Out of the top for Harrison. Back for Boschner. Boschner was looking for a feeding pass into the center slot area. Harrison will go down for Robinson. And out front as Robinson, and back for Harrison at the top. And Fred out front, trying to settle it. A shot saved by Liasik with 31 left in this penalty against Mckendree University.
She almost lost sight of that puck, got across in time. and was able to square herself, Liasik that is, to make that save. And she just continues to impress me, Boz.
Yeah, absolutely. She's doing her job, 23 of 25 on the day. Of course, going back to Malinowski, though, she did mention that she has hopes of being drafted into the NWHL, the Women's Pro League.
There's also talks that the NWHL and CWHL up in Canada might merge and become one under an NHL umbrella, which would be amazing.
That would be a huge development if that were the case.
And please let it happen, because I firmly think women's professional hockey needs to grow more. It is a great product. I think I'm a firm believer of all women's professional sports. Having called Sky Blue FC games in the National Women's Soccer League for 4 years, it's something that's long
there's going to be
overdue.
another penalty as a downed player for Adrian College in front of the net. She does come back up. So right now 6-on-5 is so Dan has it. She sends it up and over everyone. But down to play this in the far side corner is Mersick. Up to the point. Now back for, I believe that's Hardy on the far slot. She gets it down low where Polari will play it. Sent out off the back of the net. It wasn't a good centering pass. And the Bearcats will touch up for the call, and it's a trip. And right back on the penalty kill go the Bearcats.
It's just, again, Adrian's so good at pressuring in the zone and creating, those problems for a defense. And sometimes you try to get the stick out, ends up being a stick infraction, in this case a trip. And so back to the power play go the Bulldogs.
3:28 left in the second period. A face-off win for the Bearcats, but making that face-off win obnubulated where the Bulldogs, in form of Jessica Hardy. There's a turn for you, obnubulated. There you go. Oh, this one went wide. Still out in front. Liasik makes a stop. She's still on top. The puck's somewhere in there. Scramble in front. The net's off. And play halted as a multitude of players are on the ice.
A couple of Bearcats, just any way trying to keep the puck out of the net. And so a couple of Bearcats, in this case, the number 21 of Kayla Waldbillig, rolled over the top of her goaltender, Naomi Liasik. And listen, any way you can. Even if you have to hop on top of your goaltender to keep the puck out, you do it.
Any way to keep this netted at 0. Of course, Adrian College converting one of their power plays already. Excuse me. Such a beautiful sport. Thing too, March, National Women's Month here in the U.S. So good time to recognize all of our women student athletes and professional athletes in the hard work and the work that they do.
And I can tell you that I have a daughter. My little girl Serena is 7, but she's a very strong mind, and if she saw these ladies playing right now, it would fill her with a lot of pride and a lot of determination, just because she likes to see other strong women going and being successful.
And we talk about some of those teams like the U.S. Women's National Team, Amanda Kessel, Hillary Knight headlining those women hockey players at the professional ranks who lead the charge of women's growth and development in hockey here in the U.S.
It is long overdue for all women's professional sports, and it's a matter of time that not just America, the world wakes up and realizes that women can play sports too. They may not be as strong as men in terms of physicality, but they don't need to be. They play the game so technically sound. It's a joy to watch on a different level.
And honestly, just looking at this, you wanted to learn how to play hockey the right way in the technical sense, how to draw plays up. The women's game is one of the best spots to look at because they have to do it so technically sound.
Right. Exactly. My father's a big basketball guy. He once said, if I want to watch just people just jump out of the gym or whatever, I'll go watch a men's game. But if I want to watch true basketball, I'm going to watch women play. And it's the same case with hockey. It's the same case with soccer. It's the same case with whatever sport.
And offside come the Bulldogs as we enter 60 seconds left in the middle frame. But, of course, we will conclude on the final day of Women's Month. 31st is when the the championship game is for both Division I and Division II.
Appropriate.
And that should also be known that Gene Glasser and Riley Marin are two photographers who've done a wonderful job of capturing the tournament. They do a great job, and we thank them for all of their efforts. And I mean, we get breaks at broadcasters. Those ladies, they're working every single game at every single rink. They are everywhere, and we do appreciate their efforts and their talents.
And the third, Cammie Foley, had to head back home for various reasons, and we miss her out here. Don't get me wrong, but all three of them, when they were working as three, did great jobs, and then now down to two. Still amazing work that Riley and Gene are doing.
Hey, you want to talk about women doing an amazing job? We have 3 rinks and 2 photographers, and they cover it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Hats off to them. And
we're going to have reset and do this again as we have a violation. We did talk a little about face-off violations during the break, and we've seen
here we go again.
Little or no leeway on the women's side.
But again, you know what though? That's with everything that the women's game does. It's so technically sound, and to go with it is, as the net's off, to go with it is the conducting of the face-offs. You know, these women, all 4 of these officials are females, and they want to make sure the game is being done properly. And so, you know, some people will sit there and roll their eyes like, oh my God, can we just drop the puck? But in reality, it's like, look, they're doing it the right way. And all these ladies out here playing this game, they appreciate it. It's like, hey, all right, fine. We're all going to do this the right way.
Absolutely. Sometimes not going to let you bend the rule book at all, and the ref's all over it as we enter the last 30 seconds here. Sear sends us back to the Bearcat blue line, and now with the puck is Ivanowski as she lost the handle on it. Finally angled to the red line. Cron, their own blue line was Zedan. Up ahead for Wilson, who will bring this all the way around the boards. Giving chase and getting there first was Ziemba, one of the star players for this Adrian College Bulldog team. Levassier back to Wilson, now down to Levassier again, as that's how the period will expire. Well, period 2 with 2 goals, and that's what our count total is in the goal frame is 2-2. 40 minutes and great game so far.
Yeah. You know what? But again, I mean, the shot totals are going to, a little deceptive, 27-12. But again, the Bulldogs taking advantage of offensive zone pressure and doing what they do well is the offensive zone pressure and creating those types of moments. And Mckendree, both goals off of turnovers on a counterattack, so to speak. So, again, it's going to continue to be the storyline of this game. Can Mckendree continue to counterattack and Adrian overpower Mckendree?
We'll see how that storyline unfolds. The second intermission upon us, and after 40 minutes of hockey, the score netted up at 2.
Every championship written has a great story. Let Barron share yours. By Budget Car Rental, the preferred car rental agency of the ACHA. Discounts and special benefits are available for all ACHA membership and fans. As detailed on the ACHA website. Budget Car Rental, get out of the ordinary. By the Dallas Stars, when you're not...
You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy! Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. Here you go. Skate. Skate. Pass it. You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck. Come on.
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like even more than birthday cake.
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. They usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be?
Hello? Hi.
Surely that can't be practical.
She loves to see you.
But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest.
Hi!
Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth might not just benefit the great, but the good also. In small ways, and in grand ones.
Dad.
The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little.
At Wilson Electronics, we push every day to amplify the power of communication, to connect those who love and those who cannot live without it.
Dallas, Texas, in a stadium that has been sold out for months, the Cotton Bowl.
Notre Dame leading 17-14. 1:10 remaining in the game, and Texas with Street at quarterback. Street gets to the second man for a touchdown for Texas.
The 2020 Bridgestone NHL Winter Classic, an annual celebration of hockey's heritage. Tickets on sale April 23rd. The Cotton Bowl, New Year's Day. It's gonna be a classic.
Hockey heads are special, which is why we protect them with a helmet designed, built, and tested to endure real-world hockey impacts.
know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy! Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate! Skate! Pass it! You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck! Come on!
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like it even more than birthday cake.
the Comerica Center in Frisco, Texas, just north of Dallas, Texas. Home to the 2019 ACHA Division I Women's National Championship. Brett Luthner, Boz Echevarri with you on the call. Glad you could be with us on this Wednesday afternoon. And Brett, we've been treated to a treat so far.
Yeah, it's been a good game through two. Mckendree has found their way to the net courtesy of capitalizing off of turnovers, quick counters. The overwhelming pressure by Adrian has led to their one power play goal, one even strength goal. And, you know, now it's set up for a very exciting third period.
Well, the water bottle was loose in the back, and that's what's going to stop this face-off. Of course, the practice facility for the Dallas Stars, it's a little interesting that Liasek deciding not to use the water bottle holder that's on the back of the net. That, you know, kind of prevents the water bottle from popping up on a shot that hits the top of the net on a goal.
You know, some players, though, you also got to take the height into account. You know, you have to go around back maybe if it's low enough.
Good point.
I never liked them either. If I played goalie, I never liked them.
Always wanted on top of the net.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And if someone pops it off, they pop it off.
Tip cap to him?
Yep.
Pardon the pun there, but
absolutely. You just say, all right, good shot. You move on.
The Bearcats, Mckendree University, the Bulldogs of Adrian College, the two teams doing battle here. So far, we don't have anyone in the lead, so we're not going to bring up the word right now until that situation
don't say it
comes to hand. But Hardy will guide this one ahead, and
just
misfired pass by Bosher was errant. Now we'll go near side for Parody as she tried to guide this one in. The puck hopped over her stick, played back. Where Hardy's the nearest Bulldog, but getting this one out was a Bearcats player. Hardy around the boards, or Parody will pick it up at the end board. Into the far side corner. She's watched there by Davey. Walks out in front, backhand shot that sails across the mouth of the goal. Blown a tire was parodied. With the puck now is Bosher. Finally all the way out of the zone as a good back check there by the Bearcats. Forced to play outside the zone. And on the other end of the ice, now with it is Jess Harrison. On frame target and just steered away as now getting to the puck there is Coleman. Coleman wraps all the way around and back at the blue line. From the ACHA logo, fires a shot, seeing it all the way was Liasek. And play halted as she has made her 26th save of the afternoon.
Again, she's been sharp all the way through this game, and so Adrian realized that they're going to have to really step up their offensive presence if they want to try to find a go-ahead goal here.
Laid back for Clark, and now back to the point in Candido. She walks in up, and a redirected shot there by McDonald almost found the back of the net. Was it not for Liasek? Now Candido went cross ice for Donald. Donald kept it in. She was watched by a Bearcat player, now sent to the front of the net. A host of players looking for a redirect. It wasn't there. And up to the far side boards. Nothing doing for the Bulldogs, but finally out as it was mishandled by the player in McDonald. Candido will take it. Finally up and out of the zone and found a hostess. The player lost a glove. That was Selena Clark who lost it. She takes a tumble to the ice. She finally regains the gloves and pulls off for a change as the rest of the Bearcats do the same. Good change there. Skating hard, getting to the puck was Ivanowski. She lost a handle on it. Ivanowski does have a goal today for the Bearcats of Mckendree University. Midland and Liberty, the matchup following this game. Williams walks in and had this one poked off of her stick, but still in the near side faceoff circle.
Counter is there.
And there's that counter attack that Brett has mentioned so many times. This one sticked away by the goaltender in Colombo. That's her 12th save of the afternoon.
It's there for the taking if the Bearcats can turn it up quickly. And that's the whole thing. The Bulldogs haven't allowed them much, but if they can turn up ice quickly, it's there, the counterattack.
And the thing about this game, too, the winner has a commanding 1-game lead in this best-of-3 series. So the first game, pretty important to take control of the series. Face-off will be at 1 o'clock Central Time, game 2, right back here at the Comerica Center. Chipped up ahead, but it hopped over the stick of the Bulldog player in Ziemba, and it was corralled and sent deep by Davey. The Bulldogs now have it. This one finally up, and good pressure there by, looks like that was Kay, who is the Bearcat player in the vicinity. Ziemba now with it at her own face-off circle, up ahead D to D, and up ahead in front of the Bearcat bench. Puck went into the Bulldog bench, and we'll have a stoppage in play at 15:45 of the third period.
So this is, the game has ridden out this entire way, same way. Heavy pressure by Adrian, good forecheck, creating the problems, good speed going on there. Mckendree finding their openings, you know, just getting the pressure, getting the puck out, getting the pressure off for the time being. And if they have an opportunity to, capitalizing on the counter. And it's just time and time will pound that storyline home.
Messick will dump this on frame, and honestly not a bad idea. We saw in the men's game between Lindenwood and Liberty an ice that was on target. It took a weird hop and bounced over the shoulder of Cooper Cdot. So put it on frame, you may end up with a goal with the bounces that we've had.
You never, I mean, listen, the ice surface here has been really good. We've seen, you know, each night they've done about 3 or 4 ice cuts.
Yeah, after laying down the water, yep.
So they do those ice cuts, you know, lay down all the water and everything, get a good flood in, let it sit overnight, and then they come out and they do another 2 or 3, and it really allows the ice to repair itself, and you get a nice smooth sheet going out here for these games.
Yeah, we've had, I mean, you talk about the abuse that this ice has gone through the men's tournament, and, you know, I mean, being guys, I'll admit, you know, kind of a brutal way of ruining things, and the staff here at the Comerica Center has done a wonderful job of keeping the ice in pristine condition. I think the only complaint I've heard all week is that maybe the viewers at home would like to see that Dallas Stars flipped over the other way, so you could actually see the logo. Nevertheless, the Bulldogs enter the zone. They are onside, and a centering pass that was in the skates of multiple skaters. Liasek had issues trying to find it through the mist of legs, pads, and skates that was right in front of her. So far, she can breathe a little, but now Hardy comes out with a puck. Left it for Parody. Top line for the Bulldogs is this one left out in front. Turning on, firing on net was Clark. She fired it wide. Now Hardy, and this one hit Clark in front. She whacks at it, couldn't get to it. Hardy looks at it. She tried to fire Coleman with a shot that was sticked away in front by the player in Garrow. Wilson there. We're going to have a penalty that's probably going to go against, it looks like it's going to go against Mckendree for a body check. Some chirping going on. We can, with the open ice, we can kind of hear it all the way up here, and the guilty party headed to the box. Looks like it is going to be number 4 in Brittany Cope.
Yeah, I think there's just sometimes in chasing down the play, a little bit aggressive in the pursuit. You get that body contact in there. So, listen, these girls, they could throw a check. If they allowed checking in women's hockey, these girls wouldn't be too far thrown off, because they know how to play the sport.
Ooh, and Coleman whiffing on the rebound attempt, as the Bearcats will send this all the way down on frame, and going to go ahead and cover this one up. Probably wisely was Dana Colombo, the goalie for the Adrian College Bulldogs.
Yeah, no, it's sometimes you see this a lot. Slides in on goal. You see everybody, you know, bearing down. You don't want to make that, like, rush the puck, just try to get rid of it quickly to try to get the play moving along. You just eat it. You're better off trying to take a face-off, letting your teammates try to control the draw and move it up at your pace.
No reason for unnecessary risks with a player advantage.
No, leave that to NHL 19. If you play NHL 19 live on the ASHL, you know what I'm talking about.
I feel like there's some experience in gripes.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, actually, no gripes, because we sometimes take advantage of it, my friends and I. But we miss you, Sean Broderick, by the way. He would have still been here if he was able to get out here. But him and I and a few others play online. And that happens a lot. Where players will just quick pass it, and he's like, all right, well, what are you doing? Thank you.
And now near side here for Boschner. She'll stick handle by a Bearcat as Ziemba now from the face-off circle, shot in the skates, right back to Ziemba. She'll go for Harrison. Harrison just will get this one deep, and playing it is Boschner. Boschner had this one stick off. She gets tripped up. But a nice poke check there to whack away and keep it in the zone as the puck finally comes out with Harrison.
12:46 to go here in this third period.
And now deep as Boschner thought about the clapper. She decided different of it and left it for a teammate in the form. Looks like a Hoferty who walked in and fired it, hit the end board glass. A shot and saved as right on top of it the whole way was Naomi Liasik. Good for her 29th save of the day.
Trying to figure out some more on the possible technical side. Again, every now and again we get a little bit of a delay one way or the other, so you're just trying to make sure everything's all lined up. That's why you might hear a pause every now and again. But with 12:20 to go in the third period and the penalty just expired, Adrian will start to wind up ice.
And back for Wilson. She'll play it at her end boards. And she decides to circle back. Got it up ahead. It was misfired. Coming off, and icing waved off as the Bearcats were able to play it before it reached the end line. Misfired, mishandled, going back the other way as the goaltender in Colombo thought about coming all the way out. But Sedan will come out. She'll go D to D, play it near side, and a mishandled pass. She was looking for Hardy. Into the corner, play goes. And back played by Wilson. Wilson will wrap it around. Rattle it around the end boards, cut off there by Wilson again, and Adrian having all kinds of issue, but they finally break out here now with the puck, trying to generate some speed before she dumps it in, was Maddie Arnold. Sid Nicka tried to clear it, rattling around the boards, failed to do so. This one knifed back in where Hardy will play it down low for Parody. Parody back for Hardy. Hardy was cut off by the net wraparound. Getting her pad there was Liasik. Wrapped all the way around. It trickled out in front after a weird carom off the end boards. And lively boards, weird angle shots, and glass that will return a puck in physics-defying angles.
Yeah, we've had that all week long. Part of it's because of the partitions there in the glass.
There's some character to the boards here.
Oh, yeah.
Leave it to that almost. And the attempt stymied by the goaltender in Liasik. Angling off the glass all the way down, and icing the ruling against the Bearcats with 10:24 in period number 3.
32-14 the shots. They continue to mount against the Bearcats, and yet they're staying in this game at 2-2.
Yeah, great effort from the Bearcats, at least on the defensive end, all anchored by their goaltender Naomi Liasik, who has today made 30 saves. Likely going to need to be make more saves. She wants to see her team walk out with a 1-goal lead. Of course, only 14 shots on the other end for the Bearcats, laid out into that slot area wide of that near post as Ziemba takes a tumble. She'll take out a Bearcat. And just incidental contact on a hockey play, no penalty needed. I'm trying to get this one deep, finally trying to accomplish that task was Mercek. And now Wilson will take it from her own red line. Drop pass, we're picking it up, is Britt Leves here. Far side getting to the puck. Mersick stick handles by. At least attempted to, and then it was poked away by Liasek. Up ahead, chipped up ahead, and now with a situation developing, looks like Hoadley was there. Now trying to walk it out is Williams. Still in the Adrian College zone, and Polari will walk it. And a little bit of transitional hockey ensuing here with 9:05 left in the third period.
What's interesting is you see Adrian leak a player up one of the wings, and Mckendree knows this, but they have to respect that player leaking up, and so everybody drops back and it gives more skating room for the Bulldogs.
Save and cover from Liasek, and with 8:47 in the third period, the score still 2-2. We will take our first break. You're watching the ACHA National Championship on the ACHA Network.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Budget Car Rental, the preferred rental agency of the ACHA. Hogan Transportation, official tournament partners of the 2019 ACHA National Championships. Edge Protect, protecting goalie skate blades since 2004 and official sponsor of the 2019 ACHA National Championships. The 2019
Brett Luthner, Boz Echevarri at the ACHA National Championship.
Make sure you get that
tournament.
time.
The ACHA National Championship Tournament. The NA kind of nap time if you're on the West Coast. 4 o'clock there. 6 o'clock locally here in Texas.
Well, the NA would be, that's another league. Never mind. It's juniors.
See, I kind of saved myself. I went NA. We're going to hold up here. Bit of a stoppage. Now we're good.
Of course, the NA is still in their regular season, the NA being the NAHL.
Yeah.
They're still in their regular season. Their playoffs don't start until mid-April.
NHL playoffs almost underway. Of course, our NHL hosts, there's a turnover here. Stick handled by, and Liasek outweighting Hardy, as Hardy's shot was errant. It didn't even go on target.
I mean, Hardy an excellent steal, but Liasek an excellent just game of patience to make sure that shot didn't get into a dangerous area.
Prepped across the blue paint, but Liasek doing her task as Hardy with a shot, a weird angle shot still laid out in front of Liasek, trying to get to it, still in front of the crease. But now Kerr on it, walking his Boschner. She'll come here near side, sent to the front of the net where Liasek sticks it down and then covers it. Kind of hard to see the puck in those black pads, black glove. Looks like there's some purple trim on that as well. Of course,
I'll tell you what, low level of intimidation when you see all that black and purple going on there. Not going to lie.
Maybe reminiscent of her style of play, a bruising style of a goalie. Of course, no body checking allowed as Clark will walk in. Feeding pass. Looking for someone in the slot. No one was there. Sent in front as Liasek just watches this puck sail by that far post. Puck into the corner. Playing it is Ivanowski. And maybe a 2-on-1. Yep. Wentz centering pass denied by the Bulldogs on the back check there.
Good defense that time by Adrian.
Ivanowski now walking in. By the far side hatch mark. She had it sticked off by Clark. And then returns the favor to Clark as she's down. Traffic in front. Nifty save there by Colombo. Finally up and out of the zone is Clark. She manages to skate by, try to get this one up and over. She is onside, looking for Coleman. A shot saved by Liasek, no rebound as she squeezes the blocker against her pad. And in disgust, slamming her stick after the shot was Selena Clark.
Well, when you've been turned aside 33 times, it'll get frustrating after a little while. Bulldogs have had the better play, but Elastic has been, again, sharp from the opening faceoff.
And back to the top. This one sent up and over everyone. As back there to play that is Walt Billing. Laid out a save, glove save, turn to the corner by Liastic after that opportunity from the Bulldogs. And I'm sure they're, like you mentioned, a lot of frustration, a lot of shaking of the head and looking up at the replays on the board.
You just, after a while, you just look up and you're like, I can't believe it.
It'll be of note that Derek Pilardi, the head coach for this Mckendree, as Liastic makes another save, just might be going with a hot goaltender right now. And he has two good ones.
Right.
As Jasmine Malinowski and Naomi Liastic, they've split times this whole season.
And it might be, again, a matter of splitting the games. Liastic has played well here tonight.
And a draw that Parody, who crashed off that face-off, takes it in the corner. Hardy there to support. Now this will go far side. And getting to the puck first was Bosher, but she couldn't keep the possession for the Bulldogs. Back goes Arnold. Arnold turns in front of her net. And trying to generate some speed skating well. This one up ahead, but a turnover in the defensive zone for the Bearcats. Hardy plays it for the Bulldogs. Good move there to angle and skate by a defender. Puts on the brakes and a nifty move to get by as Parody now takes it here near side. Up ahead for Boschner. Boschner gains his own, leaves it from Parody. Parody was looking for Hardy in front as her stick was tied. She was camped out in the slot, skating through.
I thought it was a smart play by Liastic. Instead of trying to cover the puck, she poked it into the corner. Sometimes you don't have to cover. You know, just poking it into a different area and forcing everybody to go chase is the much smarter option. She did so there.
Bearcats trying to break this one out is just firing one from the point was Zidane. Polari in front. She fanned on that attempt. Puck trickled in front of the crease. Trying to combine words here as plays picked up here in the third. Walking in Zidane. Shot saved by Liastic. Waiting for a rebound that wasn't given up was Kat Robinson.
Trust me, it's better to combine trickled and puck than other words. I can tell you from experience. But still, the point gets across. It's been a lot of pressure here by Adrian, trickling pucks or otherwise. And really, you almost think at some point, it's like, is it going to happen? But Liastic continues to be stellar.
4:56 in the third. We'll
re-rack it.
We'll re-rack it and draw a second off this third period. So we'll go with 4:55. I'm Boz Echevarri. To my left, Brett Luthner. Glad you could join us on this March Wednesday from Dallas, Texas. Frisco to be exact. Just we'll call it what it is, a suburb of the metropolitan area of Dallas. The Dallas-Fort Worth area is we've come to know, and Dallas has been just completely amazing during this tournament. Is getting tripped up there was Robinson.
Robinson's stick almost clunked one of the lineswomen, if you will, in the helmet there. Had to shield herself to make sure it didn't get her in the base, but and then once the danger passed by, continued to go through the proper mechanics of calling a no offside.
Not an easy job to be a linesman or a lineswoman. Now Ziemba tried to walk through. She walks to the other side of the faceoff, leaving D to D. Wilson now has it. Drives one in, deflected in front, and saved by Liastic.
Great save in front.
Now down low, Mercek with it. Back to the top for Wilson, a drive! And it went off the shin pad of a Bearcat player in front. The Bulldogs swarming, but the counterattack from the Bearcats always readily available for them. Back check by Burbage. And finally up and out of the zone. Now getting to this is Peterson. Peterson can generate some speed, but she's going to have to do battle with a pair of Bulldogs. The rest of her line change as the Bearcats get a much needed change as the puck comes the other way. Now up ahead for Ziemba, who's been on the ice for a while. She'll dump it in and peels off for a change. As sticking this to the corner was Ziemba, and you can look, or excuse me, was Liastic as Ziemba just crawled off the ice. Now down low. Holferty circles around. A shot saved, shouldered off, and squeezed as there were plenty of Bulldogs crashing the net.
And they continue to apply pressure, and Liasek continues to repel the pressure with the saves, now up to 36 saves on 38 shots.
A massive effort from the goaltender, Naomi Liasek. Almost a ratio of 3-1 as the shot count 38-14. The Bearcats being watched by Hardy. Hardy was looking for an opportunity for a stick lift. Pickpocket. The player she was watching offside were the Bulldogs touching up. Boschner. This one now deep and gonna have to hustle for it. But deciding better of it was Colombo as she told her defensive support that she was just gonna cover the puck up. With 2:30 left in period number 2, score still at 2. Deuce is wild, as Brett would say.
Deuce is wild, and you're getting to the point where it's practically sudden death now anyway.
Of course, Deuce is wild, probably a term more appropriate for the sport that kicks off tomorrow as Major League Baseball. It's their opening day underway.
For me personally, not until May 16th, but and I can't wait for May 17th, but that's another story.
Of course, the local team, the Texas Rangers, play not too far away in Arlington at Globe Life Park, their final season at that magnificent facility, which has hosted 2 World Series. Walking into the zone, Maddie Arnold. Arnold watched by a trio of Bearcats, and a good job there of knifing that down and then sending it on frame was Robinson with 1:58 left in the 3rd period.
Of course, the local team, literally the ballpark is right across the parking garage. The
Frisco
Rough Riders.
Yeah. Their season kicks off next Thursday, April 5th. Might have the date officially wrong, but it is next Thursday.
Too bad we're not here for when they kick off a season, because that would be fun to go to a Rough Riders game while the national tournament is in town.
I had the chance to go to a Dallas Stars game. They're currently on a road trip in Canada. After going 1-3 on the homestand, they demolished Winnipeg.
Oh yeah, they wrecked them.
Laid up ahead as the pace is quickened with 90 seconds left here in the potential final period, and the truck pick trickling around at that far side face-off circle. Trying to generate some speed. A 2-on-1, leading that one out is Clark. Clark has Coleman. Clark with a shot that was sticked away by the defense in Ivanowski.
And Clark took herself out of an opportunity there.
Coleman was there. She corrals it again to the last 109, up and over, a high touch. It looked like it probably could have been a high touch. Now laid out in front, Hardy is there. Her stick was tied and poking that away. Shot drive! Oh, and Liasek had it. She blocked it. Sprawled out in front. Where's the puck? It's still loose. And we have a stoppage as Coleman trickles out. Looked like she was...
I would love to see if we have that on replay, because that was, I think she caught that and then just dropped it aside thinking that was her teammate right there, and it ended up going right onto an Adrian stick.
How this game is still 2-2.
No idea.
No idea. Face off outside of the Bearcat zone. Draw one back as we'll go D to D. Now up ahead. Battle ensues. That's Candido, who is battling with Wentz. Now Wentz waiting. She'll get it. Puts on the brakes and sends us all the way around to the last 35 we go. Played into the corner by Holferty. Now up ahead, Hardy with it. Hardy looking for Boschner. She has it with speed. A shot! She scores! 3-2 for the Bulldogs. Boschner with a go-ahead goal at 24-2.
Amazing, but again, it's that pressure that Adrian puts on. They're so good offensively, and a huge goal. Here's a look at again, a rush down. We've been talking about the speed down the wings all game long. That might have been tipped on the way in. I'd like to, here's another angle. See if that's tipped. Oh yeah, just getting a piece of it. Looked like the defenseman there, just getting a nick on it, and it goes above the shoulder.
Well, Mckendree University, after that goal, calls a timeout. And the question is, do you pull your goaltender off of this faceoff?
No, it's tough. You might have to at this point. 42 shots to 14. And it's just staggering. But, yeah, if you're Mckendree, I think you might have to pull the goalie for an extra attacker at this point.
You just have that attacker sitting at the crease, potentially off of that faceoff.
Yeah, you don't want, you want that extra skater, preferably a defenseman, to sit back in at the hash marks. You put the fourth forward at the blue line with the other defenseman. You put 3 forwards up top, obviously. If you're able to win the draw, get the puck to that forward so she can penetrate the zone. Build up some speed, penetrate the zone. And then obviously if you lose the draw, you got somebody back there ready. You have your 3 forwards going in on a forechecking run.
Oh, it's going to be Naomi Liashik. She's in the net right now. So if you're Mckendree University, you're going to look for a quick dump in and get this one in deep. But the faceoff win goes for the Bulldogs. A battle ensuing in front of the visitors' bench there. How Hardy angles this one, not quite into the zone. Finally up and back out. As now head of the bench is Liashik.
Icing the call.
So back she will come.
You can't pull her now with 6.4, and Adrian's going to survive game 1.
And we expected a close game on the scoreboard, the way that these teams have played.
They've been playing. They play close games all season, and another 1-goal game between the two.
And 3-2-1 as that will conclude game 1. And Adrian College on a goal from Bosher takes a 1-game lead.
I mean, just last-minute goal. Excellent. I mean, look, valiant effort out of Mckendree in this game. They still have tomorrow to look forward to trying to even up the series. But Adrian in this game survived it despite badly out shooting Mckendree 42-14. Give credit for Adrian to stick all the way through it. Give credit Mckendree just to stick around all through it. It could set up an interesting game 2 tomorrow.
Oh, game 2 at 4 o'clock tomorrow. Should be another good one. A great battle, and we thank you for joining us today. For everyone here at the ACHA Network, we're Brett Luthner, Boz Echevarri on the call, wishing everyone to have a good night.